The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, Dave. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Well, it's the top of the hour. Do you want to wait for a minute, or do you want to just start off?
Let's get started.
Okay. Well, hello, everyone. I'm Lana Bishop, Client Services Manager at TopBuilder, and welcome to our webinar. We have very important and exciting things to share. And before I turn it over to Dave, our presenter today, I have just a few housekeeping items to share. First, we are using GoToWebinar, and attendees are in listen-only mode. You should see the GoToWebinar console where there are tabs for questions and chat options. Please feel free to submit your questions or comments at any time, and we'll address them before we end our session today. You can minimize the GoToWebinar console by clicking the red arrow button at the top of the left of the console. And then to maximize the console back, just simply click the red arrow again. If handouts are included, they can be downloaded through the console as well. And please note this webinar is being recorded, and a link to it, as well as a link to our entire series of webinars, will be mailed to you and include the slide presentation, any handouts, and our contact info. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Dave Knowles, owner and founder of TopBuilder. Dave, take it away.
Thanks, Lana. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so thank you everybody for joining. We got a very large audience today. I think this is a great topic, and we got a big audience. People are still coming in, but we'll go ahead and get started now. If you have been to one of our webinars in the past, you'll know we have a standard agenda that we follow for every one of our webinars. I'll start off with a quick update on the webinar series, what is planned, what's coming up. We'll cover the topic background real quickly. Basically, we're going to discuss with you what is the topic and why is it important. We'll have a quick poll question to give us a little bit of background about where you stand at your company on this particular subject. And then we'll dive right in and talk about the topic, which is the Google Analytics integration. And we've added a little bit of twist to the topic to throw in the best practices around this. And then the demo will be pretty short. I'm going to show you the dashboard items that we have available and one of the reports. And then we'll finish up with the Q&A. Now, at the end of the webinar, you're going to get a survey question. It's a question leading up to next week's webinar, which is on KPIs or performance metrics. And we're going to ask you what KPIs do you want us to focus on next week? And we're happy to take your suggestions. If we don't get any suggestions, we got plenty of material to cover. Okay, so let's get right into this. Okay, so let's talk about the webinar series. We took a bit of a pause for a little bit on the webinar series, but we're picking back up in 2022. We're going to be doing 3 webinars a month, at least initially, the first 3 weeks of the month, and we may go to every other week, but for now, we're going to be doing 3 a month. Okay, and we're going to try to rotate between educational topics, industry best practices. We don't want this to be a salesy thing necessarily, but if we have something really interesting that we want to talk to you about, we may cover a feature spotlight in TopBuilder. Okay, so next week, we're going to cover KPI development. These are your key performance indicator development, and of course, the tracking that goes along with that. So we're going to show you how to set up KPIs in TopBuilder and then track them on your dashboards and in your reports. And then 2 weeks from today, and by the way, we're doing these every Thursday, we're going to cover appointment scheduling. And with that is calendar integration. Calendar integration, we've already done a webinar on, but appointment scheduling for our home builders is very focused on scheduling those on-site appointments from an online lead. We're going to show you how to do that and how that integrates with the calendar, and how your entire team can collaborate on these appointments that transition from an online lead to an on-site lead. We are recording these, and we're going to send out the recordings every Friday after the Thursday webinar, and we'll include a link to the recording and a link to download this presentation. And then just keep an eye on our emails that are going to go out every week to announce the webinars that we have. And then, of course, you can go to topbuildersolutions.com/webinars, where we have all the upcoming webinars and past webinars. Now, feel free. Some people say, well, I can't attend. Well, go ahead and register if you can't attend, and that way we'll get you an email with the recording the next day. And it's okay. We want you to register even if you can't attend. Okay, great. So let's cover the topic background real quickly, and then we'll do a poll question. And by the way, I didn't say this in my introduction, but we try to keep these webinars to about 35 minutes to be respectful of your time. We start on time, and we try to keep it to about 35 minutes. I'm going to do my very best to do that today. Okay, so the topic background on Google Analytics integration. I think everybody knows the value of Google Analytics. Most people that are in business are tracking their leads, understanding what comes in from Google, which leads are converting to an actual contact or a lead from Google Analytics. But the real power in the Google Analytics data is connecting it to the lead and what happens to that lead. Does it actually convert to a sale? But then also break down those leads into what we call channels or medium, which are like, your organic leads, your pay-per-click leads, your referral leads, which come from other websites like, Zillow or BDX, or maybe your local MLS site. But again, the true power of Google Analytics is actually tracking these leads through the funnel to a sale. And that's why we're talking about this. Okay. So the next, item is a big one, and why this is important, obviously, is your inability to track the results of your online leads. Potentially will hurt your sales because you're not tracking them and understanding what's working and what's not, but certainly will increase your costs. If you're spending a lot of money on pay-per-click, that is a problem if they're not converting to a lead. So we're going to help you with that. All right, then the next thing here is we all understand that Google Analytics helps. They have tools and they have a dashboard. There's Google Analytics Console. But quite frankly, it's a little complicated for a lot of people, even a software person or an engineer. And candidly, okay, it's not always in your face. Okay, so if you're not paying attention to it, you could be spending a lot of money on pay-per-click, a lot of money on leads that you're buying, maybe from newhomesource.com or Zillow or something like that, and then they're not converting, and you're spending a lot of money and wasting that money. And then also you're not getting the sales you want. Okay, so what Top Builder tries to do is bring that to the next level, which tracks these leads through Google Analytics and understands what's converting and what's not converting to a sale. Okay, that's very important. We've already said that. But what's also very important is comparing the web traffic to your goals. And that's best practices. So we're gonna talk to you about how to set these goals. And then those goals will lead to an expectation on web traffic. How many leads am I going to get for pay-per-click? How many leads am I going to get for organic, etc.? And you gotta track that. Otherwise, you could be falling behind and not know it. Okay. And then finally, one thing that we want to make sure you know, which is very important on this subject, and some of the data we present today will be from our own Google Analytics account, is we use this ourselves internally in Top Builder, and we follow these best practices. We drink the Kool-Aid, so to speak. And I think that's very important because we can share our own real world experiences and our customers' experiences with you on this subject. Okay, so let's go to the poll question. So the poll question is, how do you determine which website visitors actually convert to a sale? I'm going to go ahead and kick off the poll question now. It's always, okay, bingo. Okay, I'm going to launch the poll question. I don't know if you guys can see the results, but I'll talk about them as they come in. So please go ahead and select an option real quickly. So, okay. Wow. Okay, this is good. We have most people that are manually reconciling their Google Analytics data between Google Analytics and their sales manually. We have some that use their CRM. I'll be curious to see how that works. But you're going to see it today for sure. And then 17 to 20% don't track it. I'm going to give you about 5 more seconds. We have 75% of you voted. I'm going to close the poll in about 5 seconds. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're going to close the poll. So the results are 43% of you track the sales in your CRM. That surprises me a little bit, but we'll see if it's what we're talking about today. But that's good. That's a wonderful thing if you're doing that. And then second of all, about 30% of you are reconciling your sales with your Google Analytics data manually, which is hard to do. But then remaining 30% of you don't track this. Okay, so I'll go ahead and close the poll. Okay, done. All right. Okay, that's good stuff. All right, so let's jump into the topic itself. And we are on track on time, so we will get through this in 35 minutes. Okay, so we'll start with the why. Why is Google Analytics integration important? We've already talked about a little bit of that. We'll talk to you briefly about how this works, and then we'll talk about best practices real quickly, and then I'll show you the analytics in a demo. Okay, so why is this important? Again, we talked about the fact that we're tracking real results from our online website visitors. A real result is, they got to your website and they filled out a contact form. That's a conversion. We understand that from a Google perspective, but that doesn't indicate whether it was a sale. What we're talking about is, did that actual lead convert to a sale? And then look at your conversion rates and your number of sales. And sales, of course, can be in terms of dollars or numbers of sales. Okay. Again, why is this really important? All of these things should be tracked against some sort of goal. If you're not tracking it against a goal, well, how do you know you're on track or doing what you're supposed to be doing, and if it's working or not? So comparing your sales and your web traffic to a goal or a KPI is important. And this also allows you to capitalize on what is working and getting more sales from the leads that are converting. So maybe these are referral sites. That's a big one for home builders. You know, your local MLS listing, you're clicking on a listing on MLS and it's getting to your website and they fill out a contact form and you convert that to a sale. If that's working, spend more time and energy on that. Make sure your MLS is up to date. Leads coming in from Zillow, leads coming in from newhomesource.com, leads coming in from realtor.com. I know you pay for some of those, but if that's working and you're getting your ROI, continue to do that. Okay, if it's not working, slow it down. Another good reason for doing this is spotting gaps. We've done this ourselves. We look at all the referral sites that we have, we look at our SEO, we look at our pay-per-click, and if we're not getting leads or sales from some of these channels, well, that's an area of improvement, and we focus our marketing team on that. For instance, we may not be getting a bunch of leads from some of our partner sites. Why? Well, maybe our content's out of date. Maybe, there's lots of reasons. Maybe there is no content on there. All right, so you get it, and you want to find these gaps and then go fill those gaps, and then I'll ultimately get more sales. Very, very important. Obviously, very, very important is avoid what's not working or rebuild it. Rebuilding really applies to pay-per-click. If you're getting a bunch of leads from pay-per-click and it's not converting to sales, okay, you're losing money for sure. And go fix that. We did that ourselves. And also make sure what you're doing is improving. this is a trend. Am I getting more leads from SEO or less leads from SEO? Am I getting more sales from SEO or organic or not? And so you look at trends, trends being month over month, week over week, quarter over quarter, year over year. Am I getting better or worse? And then also, why is this important? When it's in your CRM and when it's on your dashboard, candidly, it's in your face every day, and you can't miss it. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so how does this work? It's pretty clean and simple. Top Builder will connect our interface to your Google Analytics account, and we'll start pulling in the data, and we can go backwards in time, and we'll pull in all your Google Analytics data from as long as you want it. And then you'll be able to track all your leads right in Top Builder, very similar to Google Analytics, but then you're also, of course, seeing what's converting to a sale. Also, you will, which is not on here, but part of this is your web contact form that's on your website will be capturing the data on your conversions and understanding which of your leads are converting to a sale as well. We'll help you map the Google Analytics traffic to your sales goals, and by channel being SEO or organic leads, pay-per-click, etc. And then, of course, you'll want to monitor it and set this up on your Top Builder dashboard and in your reports. Okay, so best practices really quickly. I'll go through this quickly, and then we'll wrap up with the demo, and we'll be done in about 15 minutes here. Okay, I'm not going to go over all the details here because we're going to cover a lot of this next week, but going through a process of understanding your sales goals and how many leads are going to be required to hit those sales goals is an exercise in KPI development, which again, we'll talk about next week. But I've highlighted basically the number of leads that you've determined you need to get to reach your sales goal in this situation of 200 sales a year, 200 homes a year. And you convert them through the funnel a certain way, and that leads to 21,000 roughly leads per year. And you'll want to try to break that down. How many I'm going to get for pay-per-click? How many are going to come from the referral sites, your MLS, New Home Source, Zillow, etc. And you'll use your historical Google Analytics data to develop these percentages. How many am I going to get from organic, social media, direct, email? And direct, by the way, is just typing in your URL. And so we're not planning any leads from that. And then also email, we're not planning any leads from that in this scenario. Now, there's a cost associated with these. I don't know if these are a good number or not, but these are realistic numbers based on some things we see in the industry. And you can see down below, that's a very expensive price tag. $1.6 million for all these leads. Okay, you do not want to waste that money. Okay, very important. Next, we're going to track these against your goals. I'll show you that in Top Builder. So each one of these channels, you're going to capture your actual leads against the number of goals that you've set for the year. I'll show you that in the demo. And then you'll also be able to track this performance to date. So in other words, let's just take cost per click. I have an annual goal to get 300 leads from my pay-per-click campaign a year. Right now, I've got 51 of those. I'm 17% of my way onto the goal, but based on where I should be today, I should be at 52 leads from pay-per-click at this point in the year. How am I doing against that? I'm 98% there, so I'm doing pretty good. So that's color-coded in green, so I'm doing good in that. But where I'm failing may be on the emails or some of the others. Okay, very good. And then overall, I'm about 80% of where I need to be with all my leads. Okay, that's green. I have time to catch up, in other words. Okay, and then of course, you want to monitor the trends. The leads that are generated, are you getting more leads or less? And then, of course, the conversion rates, month over month, week over week, quarter over quarter, or year over year. Am I getting better or am I getting worse with my online marketing? All right, so let's go see it. This is the fun part. Okay, so I've got Top Builder open right now, and my dashboard is completely empty. And I want to show you this in a way where you're building your dashboard. So you can see here on the left-hand side, there's a lot of menu options for your dashboard that don't exist in Top Builder for you today. These are items we're rolling out in the near future. But I'm going to go ahead and start with my digital marketing performance, okay? And what this is my lead generation performance, okay? And this is, I just showed you this on a screenshot, but on your Top Builder dashboard, what you're going to be able to see is how many leads are being generated from your organic search, your pay-per-click, your referrals, etc. What is your annual goal? What is your progress towards that goal? And then where should you be today or to date against that goal? And then what is your progress against that goal to date? I just showed you this in a screenshot, but this is what it looks like on your Top Builder dashboard, which is fantastic. This will be on your dashboard every day when you log in. Okay, now secondly, I'm going to go pull up a dashboard item on my lead conversions. And what this is going to do is this is going to track your conversions of your leads by the various channels, the channels being organic, pay-per-click, social media, referrals, emails, and direct. And I can see what my conversion rates are. And this, when I say conversion rates, I mean to a sale, not a Google Analytics conversion, which just means they became a lead. They came to your website, filled out a contact form. This is a conversion to sales. So you can see what is working in terms of sales conversion and what is not. What is the percentage of these leads against the total number of leads am I getting? And then what is the percentage of these against my total sales? Okay. And these are just the conversions within each channel. This is the percentage of my overall sales. So you're getting a very, very good idea from these dashboard items what is working and what is not. And you can improve on these. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the KPIs, which is our topic for next week. So let me go ahead and grab the KPI dashboard item. And this is taking some of this data and tracking it against your sales KPIs and your web visitors. Okay, so if you look at the very top, again, we decided in our original analysis, we needed roughly 21,000 unique visitors or visitors to our website to reach our goal. So we're tracking that, and we're tracking how many are actually becoming an actual lead, all the way through the funnel into a sale. Again, we're going to talk more about this next week. And then we're going to talk about our conversion rates of our leads our visitors to an actual lead. Again, we're talking about more about this next week, but this can only be done if you connected Top Builder to your Google Analytics. I assume you can enter it manually, but I mean, who wants to do that, right? Okay, so this is facilitated by this integration. All right, tons of fun. All right, now the last thing I want to show you is a Google Analytics performance report. Okay, this takes a little while to run because it's pulling back a lot of data. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back essentially all of the sources of my leads, or the channels. Channels, again, are your pay-per-click or your cost per click, your direct leads, your organic searches, your referrals, and then we're going to break those down into subcategories, okay? And we're going to show you how well they're performing. Okay, so let's pick on, obviously, pay-per-click or cost per click. Right now, we only, and by the way, just to be clear, this is real data from our own Top Builder Google Analytics account. So some of these URLs and some of this data may look a little strange to you, but you'll see where you're getting your leads from when you connect Top Builder to your Google Analytics, and it will make sense. this is where we're getting our leads from. We have a pay-per-click campaign, and over the last 60 days, you can see from our Google pay-per-click campaign, we had 83 actual leads or visitors to our website from pay-per-click. Now, we don't have the lead data shown in this little demo here today, but we would be tracking the leads that are generated from pay-per-click, and then the percentage of conversions and the sales. But what's really fun, okay, we're looking at our SEO, of course, but then we're looking at all our referrals. Where are our referral leads coming from? These are leads that are coming from other websites. It could be your local MLS listing here in Houston. We have HAR, Houston Area Real Estate, or I think it's realestate.com. And a lot of our home builders here in Houston are getting their leads from that. How many leads am I getting for that? Are they converting? But you'll certainly have Zillow on here. You'll have BDX or New Home Source, Realtor.com. Any other websites that you use to generate leads will be on this list. And you pay for a lot of those. And so you'll understand how many visitors are coming to my website from those sources, how many leads am I getting, what are my lead conversion rates, and how many sales am I getting from those, which is fantastic information. Now we're going to expand this out into your campaigns, and your ad groups as well. And then you'll have the trends of these. Are these individual channels, referrals, direct, cost per click? Are you generating more leads or less leads over time? Are your conversion rates getting better or worse over time? And of course, your sales are getting better over time. And all of these reports, by the way, are exportable to PDF, so you can email them out or save them to your hard drive. So that is fantastic. Or of course, you can print them, which is really good stuff. Okay, so back to the presentation. That is the end of the presentation and the demo. Lana, do we have any questions? You're muted, in case you were wondering.
I'm sorry, Dave. Didn't click my button fast enough. And I unfortunately cannot see any questions in my panel.
I do not see any either, so I guess we don't have any questions, which either means I did a really good job or I confused you. But
I think you did a great job.
Thank you. So, okay, so again, folks, we will be emailing the presentation out tomorrow with a copy of the recording. I kept my word and I kept it less than 35 minutes, so that's good. Of course, there'll be a link for you to follow up and request a demo of all of this in the email that we send out tomorrow. And then, of course, you can go to our website and request a demo or go watch some of the other videos that we have from past webinars. Okay, so thank you all so much for attending. We had a great audience today and nobody left, so that's good. Okay, sorry, real quickly, we had a question jump in. Somebody had missed how to integrate Google Analytics to their account. That's something you'll have to engage with support on. We did cover that briefly. We just basically said we were going to do it. But you'll have to engage with Top Builder support to make that happen. Let me go see if I can't find that slide. I'm sorry, I don't have it. Okay, yes, go ahead and contact Top Builder support, email support, and we'll get that set up for you. Not a problem. Okay, thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next webinar.